Let's take you to the Minister for Industry and Science. Straight away, Ed Husic is talking in Sydney. Let's listen in.
Keen for that to happen, and I'm sure that David and the team will assure me of the safety of such a flight before we even do it. But we do need to think longer term, and we do need to make sure we get our act together and lined up to do so.
Minister, I just have some questions on the phone, if I can.
Sure.
Woodside says it's not holding back gas supply. Do you take them at their word?
I think if there are firms like Woodside that are saying that, that's terrific. But there's been a bit of a behind-the-scenes suggestion that's been handed out around gas supply and using the cover, oh, we don't know what these regulations that the government's brought in mean, and therefore it could interrupt supply. Let's be very clear, the bottom line could not be simpler. Do not charge above $12 a gigajoule for the next 12 months while we have these temporary and emergency measures in place. We want to make sure that an Australian resource that we have a lot of is priced at Australian expectation for a resource that we've got a lot of. And the ACCC has obviously put out its guidance the other day that will clear a lot of things up. I think there's been a lot of cases where some of these firms are using the cover of what's happened and the temporary absence of that information via the ACCC to send a few other messages. The reality is, if you look at the last 12 months, they made a lot of money, and what we're saying is we have to rein it in. We get that they have a responsibility to their shareholders, but we've got a responsibility to ours, and ours as the Australian public, businesses, households that want to see a much more reasonable footing when it comes to prices, and that's what we've been doing.
The Minister, from February, energy customers are about to be charged more, not less, for their contracts. So has the government's intervention backfired?
We, through what we did, wanted to take the edge off what was expected for the trajectory of prices as announced ahead of the October budget. Treasury estimated there'd be big leaps in electricity and gas, so we wanted to take the edge off that. In acting the way we did, we were always conscious that in the 2023 year, a lot in the gas market, a lot of the contracts would be locked down already, so we had limited room to move there. Big savings in terms of the 24 calendar year. But to be frank with you, I'd rather be responding to your question after taking action rather than responding as to why we hadn't. We had acted in the national economic interest. We needed to bring those prices down. We needed to get the balance right between gas companies being very profitable, but not to such an extent that they're impacting on Australian manufacturing or on households. We had to get that balance right in the national economic interest, and we have.
That is the latest episode of Ed Husic v the gas companies. He is not taking a backward step at all. He's accused the gas companies of using the cover of the price cap being instituted and a temporary absence of the guidance from the ACCC. He said to do other things. So not sure what he means there, but he's certainly taking none of this.